All right, yeah, we live. We live with my bro Ibrahim.
Yo, what's up with y'all?
I mean, we was sitting back. We was talking. We was sitting here having a conversation with each other over live. And we was talking about fatherhood. My man got what you got? Two sons, bro.
Yeah, I got two sons, one daughter.
Two sons, one daughter. And I said, man, we got to get this on live, bro. So where was we at? You want to touch back up on where we was at? Touch bases.
Yeah, we was basically talking about how a female that's hurting be crying out for their help, but when they get that person, they so used to having all those damaged people to equalize to their own damage, so that means they think it's okay. But
Mm-hmm.
when you meeting somebody that actually wanna that can feel your pain, that actually cares about you elevating and releasing and letting it go, then it become a problem.
Because like you said, it's like fear. Like um you ever be like embarrassed for somebody else, like somebody do something embarrassing in the public, and even though you may not even know the person, it's like you get a sense of like, if that was me, I would be embarrassed, feel embarrassed for the person.
Yeah, that's straight facts.
Or it's the same way with fear. Like sometimes people will want to do something, but they scared to do it themselves, and they're even scared to watch somebody else do it.
That's straight facts. People they scared. I ain't gonna say it's more that once you stop following the crowd and you be yourself, then it don't matter if you laugh about or you scared or you embarrassed because you speaking the truth. You speaking facts or you speaking your true self that people scared and afraid to be because they fear a judge. So what? Just another human judge you. Only
Mm-hmm.
God can judge you. But people
Facts.
gotta understand that once you be your true self, you release. You walking in your power and your
Mm-hmm.
essence. You walking with your ancestors, so it's strong. It's strong in the words you speak out your mouth. When you actually been through it and you don't give a fuck about what anybody got to say because you know it's true, then
Mm-hmm.
look, who cares what other people got to say?
Mm-hmm. Facts. What was your experiences when you had your first child?
I would say my first child, what? I graduated out of the high. Um, my baby mom was pregnant and she going through some things. I sacrificed a lot. I said, forget it. Even though I graduated, I want you to get your drawing too. So I sacrifice on the benefit of not just helping her, but
Right.
helping my child. It's more that nobody never taught me how to be a man, but I know to become a man, you gotta sacrifice. And a person that you believe in, regardless you with the girl or not, that's still the mother of your child. So no matter what, you still got that love for her.
Right. Right.
So you want her to see and get the best, so we both can become the best, regardless we together or not. At the end of the day, as long as we the best and we the example for our kids, and
Right.
that's going to get passed down the line from generation to generation. So it takes time, but you got to be willing to make that sacrifice. Who cares about what the female did or what she went through?
Right.
That's everybody got a past.
Right.
Most people, and be happy that she even told you about her past, because most
Mm-hmm.
people don't. And it'd
Most
be
people
crazy
keep
when
it.
you dating somebody and you go down the line and then you hear all this stuff about her because she didn't tell you. Then you looking at her like, no, I ain't fucking with her.
Mm-hmm.
But that shouldn't change your mind or your aspect or your deception of this person. You
Because
should not.
because we because I always looked at it like we're all nobody's perfect, and I always looked at it like we were all living and learning as we go. My dad always used to tell me to like live your life and let other people live their life, and then involve your life with other people. Like as a friend, as a relationship, it's like, all right, this is my life. I'll involve you in it. This is your life. I'll be involved in yours.
Yeah, that's straight facts. I
Mm-hmm.
say life is like a roller coaster. It's ups and downs, but you going through that stuff is making you the person you are. Think
Mm-hmm.
about it. If somebody was perfect, you wouldn't even know what you want really in life. You wouldn't know the struggles.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be able to have strength through those trials or do those failures. So you gotta go do that to become that rightful person. That person that you know gonna stand on something and know that all he been through, he be damned and he gonna let this break him.
Right. That's where I'm at with it right now. I'm like, damn, I'd be damned if I let myself be broken. And I know what I'm gonna stand for. Another thing my dad used to always say to me is, you gotta stand for something or fall for anything.
Real shit. Real and that's straight facts. Trust me, man. I've been at a point in my life where I I I done did some things. I got up. I got real up. And me having everything, I felt like I had nothing.
Right.
I didn't stand for nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't have really no purpose. I know damn well that I was changing when I stopped having fun in the stuff that I used to have fun in. When I used
Mm-hmm.
to party or wanted to mess around and do all this, I knew that that wasn't me no more. I was moving to something greater. And I knew it was true because I was looking within myself. And
Mm-hmm.
I sat down and I asked God to show me, give me that purpose. And once
Mm-hmm.
she showed me and gave me that purpose, man, it changed my life. And I know me taking this choice, because it's always a choice. You can just
Always.
like everybody else and say, fuck it. I can trap, I can do what I want. But me taking this choice, I know
Right.
that it would be a battle. It would be a lot of people going against you. Nobody will believe in you.
Yeah.
But you know at the end of the day that you gonna
Everybody wants to silence you. You know, your
yeah.
voice, you get undermined when you go around, when you make a commitment to personal success and a personal commitment to God. And you know, it makes people like look at you like you think you're arrogant or you think you're better than other people or whatever, because you're holding yourself to a standard, or you're going against the grain that a lot of people a lot of people find comfort.
There you
And
go.
yeah, and so when you come and you like, all right, I'm gonna try to push push the president, or I'm gonna go above and beyond. I'm gonna try to provide quality service or have good core values. It starts outshining people, and then people start to hate you for it.
There you go. They start to hate you for being yourself, and you showing them how to be. You show it's you being an example of a person that because you can't tell me shit when I've been in your shoes and I did exactly the same thing you did, and I
Mm-hmm.
made plenty of mistakes. I kept on making mistakes, but
Mm-hmm.
I still said, "Hey, enough is enough, and I want this change."
Mm-hmm.
And just because I wanted that change, I believe in something that I know that's best, not just for myself, but I could be an example to all others that feel like there's no hope. And you
Mm-hmm.
mad at me? That's it's levels to it. You're not really mad at me because there's no reason to be mad at me. I didn't do nothing to you. You
Mm-hmm.
mad at what I stand for,
You
or
mad
because
at what I,
I'm walking within my own power. I'm walking
bro?
within my own perspective. Now I got my mind. I've never followed nobody, but I got a direction. Once you
Mm-hmm.
got that direction, it's more like, damn. So what is my purpose?
And yo, E, where that direction come from? Like I
It,
know, I'm just saying, we all know.
yeah, it come from the. Be honest, that direction come from those battles, those mistakes,
And
and
God,
and God. Yep, when
because
you yeah,
I feel like He put us in the middle of the battle. When I look at hindsight of my life, man, I think about my religious background when I was young, and I got introduced to the church early when I was young and trying to learn how to play instruments. And then
mhm.
all the way from then till now, God has always been covering me and filling me. Even my parents being two different religions, watching my parents try
Same
to
here,
you get
same here.
mm-hmm.
My dad Muslim, my mom Christian, and I
Wow,
used to
my
go to the
dad,
mosque.
yeah, that's crazy. My dad
Yo,
Muslim and my mom was a Jehovah Witness.
I used to go to the bars. They kicked me out. They kicked me out the bars
I
as a kid. But I
yeah,
used to always experience the Christianity too. But
mm-hmm.
I always felt like the outsider because even though I went through all those things, I always feel that
I didn't know
why
what to
do we gotta
believe.
go there?
Yep,
Why can't we just go within and believe in God if it's truly in your heart? You don't
yep,
need if you need somebody to tell you who God is, that means you're not really searching for God.
well,
It's levels to it. It's
yep,
within you. And when you bring that out, it's more that people, some people will follow, but I don't want no followers. You don't
Mm-hmm.
follow me. You follow within
You follow.
yourself.
Yeah. Listen, I would get confused. Like, so I would go hit to the mines, I would go to the hall, and I would like pick out the differences, but then I would be like, man, they're saying the same thing. I would feel like they were saying the same thing. I didn't feel like it was a difference. So when I used to see my parents have debates over that, right? I used to wonder like, what are y'all even fighting over? It's the same thing. I always felt that in my own spirit. And now as I'm older, I kind of still feel the same way. But
No, no, you're right. You're right. Because it is, to be honest, man, it is the same thing. At the end of the day, we all believing in that God. When you believe, when you pick a religion, you believe in one thing. You believe
mm-hmm,
in God, and the second thing is you believe in hope of direction, of something
mm-hmm.
that's better than what you actually have or know already.
And the
So
Savior,
yes, and a savior, somebody to help you and save you and guide you on your way.
yeah,
And
for the sins that we committed.
yep,
Because I'm never going to be a person to say I'm perfect. Like I'll say my sins, like I battle with smoking weed, even though I may not, do it on camera or be seen doing it. I got my issues, and
yeah.
so I
But
know
look,
I'm
look,
not
look.
perfect.
What you saying is 100% true. Everybody that God used in the Bible or the Quran was what? Quran, he was a jailbird. He was in jail and he wrote the Quran. The one
Mm-hmm,
in the Bible, everybody in the Bible. Abraham was an alcoholic.
mm-hmm,
Oh, come on. It's people that cheated on their wives or they was never perfect. But God
mm-hmm,
used those imperfect people to show you that no matter what you go through, no matter who you are, that you can change and you can have that hope and direction as long as you believe in. See, faith, and I
mm-hmm,
just posted this on my page too. Faith, it
mm-hmm,
don't make things easy, but it makes it possible. When you walk
mm-hmm,
out on faith, it's more that sometimes it can still push you back, and you ain't seeing no direction. Then you find the enemy comes in and give you
mm-hmm,
that good offer. It's that good
mm-hmm.
offer that's going to stop everything and have you up and good. But X is one question. Once you take that offer, what is going to cost you?
Right. That's what I was gonna say. And it's funny you should mention that. What is it gonna cost you? I look at this life, right? What scares the mess out of me, right, is because I look at it like, dang, we men. I ain't never been a female before, but I've been a man since I was not a boy, if that makes any sense, right?
Yeah, I know,
And
100%.
and uh, and I know my flaws. Hold on. I just lost my audio. Technical difficulties. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My fault. But what I was saying is, I know my flaws, bro. I know my heart, and I know the times where I pray and I ask forgiveness, and then I don't turn away. Like some of the things I'd be scared. Like dang, some of the things I ask God to turn me away from, and then time and time again, I find myself being vulnerable and going back to the situations. And then like, what does that stuff cost you every time that you do that? Sometimes I wonder about my own soul. But I know that if my spirit can do that, as much as I'm trying to seek God and as firm as a believer as I call myself to be, and I battle with that, then I know that other men battle with it too.
There you go.
And so now, knowing that truth about myself, and then being able to look at other men and say, like, dang, God says none of us is better than each other.
We all one.
We
Don't
all
you?
one.
But when they say energy and they say we frequency and we connect, when we come all together, we we all feel each other pain. It's kind
Now,
of like and this is like probably over topic, but us black people, if we come all together, we will all go on the same frequency. That means we
mhm,
can feel each other pain on freaking lack of direction, and we
mhm.
come together, we can build that,
And
and
we can do something.
we can do something, and we can stop hating on the next man because he got up Or the man that did get up, he can stop feeling like he don't have to give back to the people. Anything we get,
Penalizing each other,
yes.
accusing each other instead of coming up with moral solutions. You know what I mean? Instead of coming up with solutions that's moral, that has like some type of moral compass. When I see the world, the solutions that people come up with don't be moral, and that's even if they choose to come up with one.
That's facts. That's look, man, that's facts. And look, the way the world moving now, we all moving to more in the spiritual direction. So that means
Mm-hmm.
some people going within, but don't let that fool you neither. To go within is to really go within. That means you're not being influenced by the outside help. So that
Right.
means when y'all doing these spiritual practices, this witchcraft or spells and all this, is more that people like, oh, I want my man back, so I'm gonna do this spell. I'm gonna keep him bound to me, or I'm gonna put
Uh-huh.
some period blood in his spaghetti,
Yeah.
and he gonna stay forever.
Yeah.
When you doing that stuff, understand if that man walking with the will of God, ain't no way in hell that will work.
Right.
And it's only a guarantee. It's only
And,
a moment of time until he break up out of that shit and he
yeah.
realize what the fuck I'm doing here with her.
And that type of stuff curses the person
Yes,
when you start dealing in iniquity and demonic forces and summoning spirits and all this unnatural stuff. That's you really just evoking Satan. You just like inviting him into your life
into your life.
with a heavy presence, and he winds up destroying you. And a lot of
And look,
times,
look, and you're right on the money, because I can actually say that I've been down some phrases. I've been with people that actually practiced, that did all this shit that people wouldn't even believe. But
I believe it.
but I don't get me wrong. I got gifts. I can do all the shit they do plus more, and I got psychic abilities. But I would never use my gifts to take advantage or take somebody's free will away. That's
Hmm.
just all I care about. Is somebody that have their own free will and know they got their free will. No matter if you in fucking hell, long as you believe and you got that faith and you want that change, then Jesus will come and save you.
Mm.
That's all I care about. See, people think that all hope is gone because they made a mistake or there's
Hmm.
no turning back.
Right.
No, it's always redemption, and you can repent. And
Grace.
you don't. And I don't care if you believe in Jesus or believe in what you believe in. Long as you really believe it in your heart, that's all that matters. Because look,
Hmm.
a person can go to church and fake it and preach to every single body and tell you all types of bullshit. But in
Hmm.
their heart, they up there doing witchcraft or hurting somebody else. But a person
Hmm.
that actually got love in their heart, even for the ones that hurt them, that's what it really. That's why I said, like God, you got to really have love in your heart to actually forgive the ones that actually hurt you.
Hmm.
And once
and
you
and
do that,
understand and understand like sometimes like with me, you'll understand why a person hurt you. Like God will reveal the reason. See, sometimes you can be hurt from somebody, but you don't know why they hurt you. You had that question like, why would you do this to me?
there you
But then,
go.
and that's how you know, that's confusion. That's how you can tell like, dang, like God's spirit is not really operating in that.
There
but
you
when
go.
but when God reveals to you like, wow, this person hurt me, but this is why. Like when God identifies that for you, there's no confusion there. And then it's like, remember what I was saying earlier, as men it feel like, dang, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
And
Then
I
we
get
feel lost and hopeless
when it
because we can't help that person. But God only put that person in your way to understand, to let you know, to it was a test and a trial to improve you, that you cannot help everybody, and you must keep going and push. He put
I
it
believe
he
I
put this in your
believe
way for what's next. Because
you
you're
know
gonna
what's
meet
crazy
somebody
though,
in the way.
bro? Even though that's true, I do believe that God can always touch everybody's heart and fix everything. For real,
At the
for real.
same time. Because look, while he putting you in that life and while they hurting you,
Yeah,
understand that the person that's kicking you while you're on the ground is hurting more than you.
I
So
know.
he using you not just as an example or a testimony or a vessel of God. He's actually helping both of y'all at the same time, regardless what way you getting it, regardless you getting it the bad way or the good way. Because most
Man.
people, we don't listen when we seeing stuff good. When it's
Yeah,
all good, it's like, what's the worry about? Or
yeah.
when you up, you don't really look towards God. You get
You
what I'm saying?
preaching.
You
I
got money
do.
and all this, you don't gotta look towards God. You looking at it like, hey, I'm up. I don't need nothing. I don't got
Yeah,
pray. I don't got
yeah.
pray no more.
You be like, dang, my next move gonna get me to my next move, and you think it's
Yeah,
all you. Hmm.
but
And,
that's to
and you
believe in
and you
faith and
forget that
understand.
you
You
forget
gotta.
to let Jesus be in that situation amongst you, and whereas you getting that, even though I never take my heart off Jesus. I feel like Satan just be throwing some orangutan punches, and I overreact.
Yeah, but look, we human, so it's okay to feel that way. I'm still doing that myself. Sometimes I do overreact. Sometimes I still be in that little moment when I feel like, damn, why can't I help this person or why can't I change him? And it's only natural. I know. Look, we smart enough to know you can't change nobody that don't want to be changed. We
Right,
all know that, but we still do it because that feeling.
right,
It's just a feeling, but that feeling is everything, and it makes you. It grabs you to that person to want them to feel that love, or want them to feel or seek better within themselves.
right,
Because most, like when you're an earth angel or like a star seed, you want the person to feel happy because it makes you happy to know
right.
to be happy on a way,
And
regardless they with
and
you or
then
not. You
and then
still
it's
want
and then
them.
it's sometimes it's not even about just fully the person though, bro. Sometimes it's the foundation. I think we was touching on that earlier. Like, when you look at like, all right, once you make certain commitments, you can't break them. Like you know what I mean? Like when you look at like the foundation of a man, you know, which leads me, I'm gonna ask you this question. You and your first child, like your relationship dynamics on that, how is that? Like, all right, so I'm guessing that you co-parent with her mother and everything.
Yeah,
How,
and the crazy part about it, we cool, like we best friends. We cool, and the best thing about, like I would say, my first child, my son, is the fact that we understand, not just understand, but we understand the universe and God. It's like my gifts or my essence got brought through him. And it's like we can talk about something and understand without actually reading about it or teaching about it. It's like it comes within, like we got
mhm.
hidden knowledge. So even when I see that, I understand that no matter what comes our way, we're going to make it through, and everything is going to be okay.
is
It's
is your sorry not to cut you off, is your second child with her as well?
no, no, no. I got three and three.
Right. I understand. I kind of got the same drink. Do you think this second, when you had this second baby, did it hurt her?
Um, to be honest, it's messed up to say, but I think it kind of did, because it kind of feel like, see, when a female have a guy and y'all both have like your first child, but it don't work out, and you meet somebody else and you have another child, I guess they feel like they taking your attention. So always remember, where attention goes, energy flow. So they feel like you taking your energy off from them, because you're not taking your energy off from your child, because y'all connected no matter what. But it do, for a female, makes it seem like it's a part of you that you gave to somebody else, and it's not that. It's not that. It's more that, I would say, because this is a good question too. I would say it's
Mhm.
more that when we have like other kids with other people, it's more that we open up ourselves to creating something else with somebody else. But it don't mean that us guys forget about the people or the person that came before. But into their head, they don't want you to.
Are you sure, bro? Are you sure you're not just putting a band-aid on it?
No, see,
Are you sure you're not just maybe speaking for yourself? I'm not discrediting it.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no, no,
asking.
no, 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 no. You're right about that. I would say that I'm not just speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for overall the collective. It's
Right.
more that when a female know that a guy move on or have another baby, be honest, it is some type of jealousy. And it's the same thing with a guy. When a
I
guy,
was going. I was going to say, because for me, what, like I'm when it, like I said, for me, it's about dynamics. Like when it comes down to family, I'm gonna always put my family first over everything. Nothing else is gonna matter besides my
Always.
child and my wife. Like, you know what I mean, and my kids, my children.
But they're not understanding that. They're not understanding that you will always be there, no matter what.
But
But they
bro,
looking they looking at
that
it.
listen, this where the, and we on live, so this is where the whole world will kind of like get a taste of, like, I guess, my mindset, because I don't feel that way, man. I'm gonna tell you something. When I had my first daughter, me and her mom split up, and I never her mom sent her to Africa on a plane while she was like 3 or 4 months pregnant. Got into this big family thing. Her mom hated my guts, and I talked to my first baby mom like every other week for like maybe 6 months. We talked on the phone. We were like pen pals. Talked on the phone for like a good 6 months. We had like a long distance relationship. You know, I wasn't cheating or anything at that point. Yeah, I don't even know if you call it cheating because we split up. So, you know, people look at that differently. Like, well, we split up, so it's not cheating. Or me, I just think it is what it is. But um, after time started going on, after I realized, like, dang, it's been a year, it's been 2 years, and still nothing changed. It's just like, I started like having a, meeting different people and having a change of heart. I was interested, became interested in a different woman. And then I started to think, like, dang, if I feel this way, then I know that she probably feels that way, right? Obviously, right? Because we're human beings. So that means that she's gonna be in a new relationship. And at this point, when I was started feeling like this, two years had passed, and I started to say to myself, like, dang, man, whoever she's with, right?
Hmm.
I guess I just gained this feeling where I felt like whoever gonna be my daughter dad, just let that person be the dad. Like if that's what it is, like it's just like I didn't raise the kid, so I always felt like, man, what would I do? Like the first daughter that I met is like 8 years old now, and I always felt to myself like, dang, what would I do when I meet this 8 year old? I'm not saying I will always feel like this, but as of currently, what do I do with an 8 year old? That I never met, that I didn't raise, and how would that be? How weird would that be? What if she's not even? What if she's 20 by the time I first meet her? And she's probably married. And imagine how awkward that would be for me. Not even a child. People say, "Well, your daughter gonna want a relationship with her father," but it's like it was stolen away, and it wasn't taken away from me. I didn't make me not have a relationship with her. That was like something that people always say, right? You couldn't control that. It was out of your control. You can just pray about it.
Hmm.
So it's like, all right, well, if that's the case, then what, where do I come into play with, like, man, like it puts all the blame on me now. I'm in the middle of just like confusing the heck out of this girl and explaining to her why I wasn't there and what wasn't in my
But
control.
and you're right on the money. But look, the world we live in, it will always be the blame game will be on us. But at the same time, you're not wrong because I feel like to be look, I'll be honest. If it wasn't for my like I had stepdads growing up. If it wasn't for them stepdads, I wouldn't
Hmm.
even know what direction to really understand or going. So
Facts. And
with
so
that
they
being
was like
said,
your dad.
yeah, basically like
That's
my
how I
dad.
feel. That's how I feel.
So
Like,
so you're not wrong, and you should respect the man that's actually being there, that actually got the love for your child and
exactly,
for your baby mom, and don't see treating her right. There's nothing
exactly.
wrong with that.
Exactly.
And
So then that's why I asked you that question. Do you think it hurt her? Because, and then I asked you, like, are you sure that you feel that way? Because now that other person, now that the female, she betted against you and she went and moved on with her life and built a life with somebody else. And that now that's a family unit that you gotta respect. Because when it come to me and my family, I don't care if you who you is. It's this that's the child I'm raising, this is the woman I'm with. And
you right on the money
this is my
because
dynamic. So the biological father don't have no place in that. If that's the move that the wife makes, so how can you really in real life? I know the TVs make it look good and people in there
they
feeling.
do, they
This is
do.
why people be having illic feelings in their heart because the world brainwashes you to smooth things over, to be okay with feeling jaded. Like, okay, I really hate the fact that, my baby mom is raising my daughter or son with a new family unit that doesn't include me, that I'm not in no type of really hierarchy over. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, we would feel that way,
But I can't do nothing about it.
and
Or
that's
or
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with not. Look, we human, and we only feel that way because we love that child and we want to be there in their life. That's why we feel that way. But we
can't
must admit too, when we build our own family that we happy with, that woman must respect our family and we must respect their family. And there's no anger or there's no spite or jealousy. It's more that I build my family and I'm happy, but my child will always be a part of my family that I built for myself. Cause
right.
this is where God led me to be. It didn't work out for us, but you should be happy that I found someone that I can build a family on and that would love me and my kids and even my children that's biological, not hers, the same.
I
You
don't
get what I'm saying?
I I guess, but then again, no, I don't feel that way, bro, because of the Bible. Like, the Bible say that it's better for us to be single. Like Peter saying in the Bible was like better for us to be single than to, to be married. But if we burning with lust, it was better for us to get married than to, fornicate, than to, to sin with sexual immorality, right? And then it says when you get married, what's permissible, between, divorce and moving on from somebody, right, is when one person is not a believer of God, of Jesus Christ, and they want to be live wickedly and they don't want to be attached to you. They're like, hey, look, I don't want to be with you, and you can they're not a believer. God permits divorce under that matter, right? But watch this. This is where it gets crazy, because it says that if one person is not a believer but they still want to be with you, then that means that your grace is sufficient to cover that person. So even though they're not a believer but they want to be in love with you, God says it's okay to be married to that person, right? That's really the only grounds where he says, divorce is cool. And then, uh uh you know sexual immorality is grounds for divorce. It doesn't mean that you have to. And then watch this. If you divorce under grounds of infidelity, sexual immorality, right? The two people are now not supposed to get married ever again. You're just supposed to be like, not married. We divorced, and now she doesn't move on to somebody else. You don't move on to somebody else. And then maybe in the future, after you two figured out what that was and brought yourself to God, you'll reconcile. That's what the Bible literally says.
And I can give you an example of everything you just said. It's kind of like when you in love with somebody, you've been with them for years, but that person dies. Do God want you to sit there and be sad? Of course,
No,
you're gonna no. Just listen. You're gonna be
uh,
sad over that person,
mm-hmm.
but also that person still will want you to move on with your life
That'll
and
do
be
his part
happy.
for
Because
sure.
at the same time, when that person goes and leaves, maybe that person's spirit or essence can be found in somebody else that can make their way to you, that can give you that love. And
Yeah.
that's the way you can still be happy within
Well,
yourself.
well,
Because you got one.
when somebody dies, though, you gain closure through death. You lay them to rest. You have a ceremony. You grieve. You go through a grieving process. Everybody, assists you in it. It is a process that happens. You know what
But
I'm
look,
saying?
what it says in the Bible too, it says that even though you with somebody and it don't say this directly, but when they pass away, you should not be remarried because you was already married to that person, and that person was your soulmate. So do that makes it wrong for you to open up or look and conceive in somebody else? I think no, because at the
The
same
Bible
time,
don't say you can't marry after your spouse died.
yeah, it don't say that, but it definitely do say that you basically had one wife. It don't say that directly, but it basically say when you meet a wife, that wife is your all and be all. It
Yeah.
said that marriage is everything. Once you say I do, that means you're married to that person. That means that's your forever person. So
In Exodus, it even speaks about. It says, it gives you law about who is you can, like, marry and take as a wife, and who you can't. And it even says it is a parable in it. I guess I could be able to bring it up, but it's a scripture in Exodus where it's telling you that, and it says you're not supposed to take marry your wife's sister as a rival wife. But if your wife died, you could marry her sister. Like the Bible literally it says that in the Bible. Not that people don't do that stuff. Just
Yeah,
saying that you is laws in the Bible, and it we can get married after that.
yeah,
After,
and I just think, to be honest, I think that's BS.
but
That's,
but here's the thing: you would pray for longevity, and God will cover your marriage with long lasting years into your old age, so you wouldn't have a need to remarry.
but that's how you know that that was your twin flame. Because you can have a lot of soulmates, but you can have one twin flame. But that's how you
Mm-hmm.
know that's your twin flame, and that you made the right choice. Sometimes,
Right.
see, we looking at it as you can't make a mistake in marriage. You can make a mistake in marriage and not understand that that was the person that you supposed to have been for. Or
Nah, God don't make
sometimes a
mistakes.
flame die out. That's how you know it wasn't that your real person. Because people, we must tell the truth that sometimes we with somebody and that's not really your person. The flame and it dies out because you was with that person and you thought it was love, but it was lust. And with that lust is not it won't continue too far down the line
I
until
can't,
something
I
can.
can't, I can't. Only reason I say I can't agree with that, Abraham, right, is because I know how strong the world is, bro. And me and you, the same type of person where you hear the voices of the world, bro. You know how the world can silence you. As soon as you say something that the world don't agree with, what happens?
They gonna, yeah, they gonna get mad and do all. No,
Make and
you right though.
they make you feel like you're a weirdo or you're corny or you're doing something wrong or you could
That's
be doing
facts.
better.
That's
People love to shame you. Or you could be doing so much better in your life, and this is what I did, and this is what you should do. And some people are subjectable to that. Like they can't handle that. They don't. When that type of stuff starts happening to them, they can't handle it, so they succumb to it. So they'll be like, all right, cool. I want better for myself. I want to be seen in the way that people telling me I should be, and so they'll work really hard towards looking the way that people want them to be seen. You get what I'm
that's
saying?
facts. That's fact. I see where you coming from.
And I feel like
You coming
that's
from no overall.
yeah, like overall, I feel like that's what ruins relationships. People don't want to be going through the fire in the ugly stage. You know how when you going growing your dreads and they short and ugly and your hair look funny today and your face look fat. But if you really want to grow your dreads and have them, you gotta go through that stage
Yes,
where
and
everybody tell you cut
you
your
hit it
hair,
right.
that don't look good on you.
You hit it
You
right on the money. They don't
you're
want to
too
go.
old for that.
No, no, and I do realize you right on the money though. And sometimes we hit it because look, I'm happy about my age. I made it to 30, so yeah, and I'm 30, and it's kind of hard to seek and look for somebody else that's on that level nowadays because it's more we so used to building with somebody or somebody we know or
Right.
somebody we knew, and but we're not being open to receiving or open to love from somebody we don't know. Sometimes it's good, even though it's going to be hard. It's going to be a trial, but we must be open and go do that with that person. So what if it don't work out with this person, that person, that person? We
Mhm.
must keep going until we find the correct person, and you're going to find that correct person when you're ready. So
How
that
many
means
how many girls you dated over your entire life? And as of from now, and don't count like your flings or we men don't count your little
I
weird
would
situations.
say
Don't
I
count
would
the
say
don't counts.
either like true loves. Not I
Yeah,
would say true love. Like actually people that I love that had
yeah,
the same exact tolerance for, like we can build together.
your
I would
persons.
say I would say no more than 4 or 5. And that's crazy. Cause
That's accurate because I'm like I'm at like 10 of those people maybe right, and I'm a few years older than you. Um, Bro, how often have they been? So sometimes what happens to me, where I start to get scared, I'm like, especially now watching patterns. How often are these people so very, 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 very similar? It's almost like is a spirit that's following you, jumping from person to person. Every time you meet the person that you fall in love with,
I speak about this on my page. I speak about this on my page,
you
and
know
it
what?
is. It's the same spirit that jumps. Cause you be like, damn, this is the same girl, just in a different body.
Just in a
Or they
different,
remind you
they
of
remind
something.
the love, the way they love you. They just automatically touch that chord in the way
And
that another person does it. And then but then along with them loving you in that way, the same exact problems come or different, but it's like it's sure to come.
yes, yes, yup. It'd be the same outcome or the same results. And I realized that it's kind of like when it's called karmic. When you ever been like a karmic relationship, that karmic spirit will follow you through no matter what relationship you in, only because they
Mm,
want to see your downfall because that person is hurt. But
mm,
once you relieve yourself and let that go, and the only way you're gonna do that if you take you gotta be single. You gotta be honest. That's called healing. It's
yeah,
called it's called identifying the red flags before you let your feelings get involved. So
facts.
it's more that you gotta know. And we make mistakes because we go through it. But and always remember the devil comes at you when you heal or when you on that phase of healing. And then it presents you with somebody that's not like them, be so good, so like you be like, damn, this person good. They showing you love. They got their
Hmm.
head on right, and they
Hmm.
believe in God.
Hmm.
They believe in God, but they really don't. Later on down the line, you start to see that this person is somebody you know, but
And the
it's
Bible speaks about like staying away from the promiscuous woman and the girl and the the adulterous woman and all this
I
stuff.
stopped looking with my eyes
Right.
and look within my heart.
But
And when I
now
start look, man, that look, you can't fool me no more. Don't get
me
me wrong.
either.
Sometimes us guys, we play with it, but that's our problem. When we think we playing with it, we actually hurting ourselves by playing with it.
So my
Because
thing is, I all right. So I've been celibate for like bro over a year, like a year and some months at this point, right? And my thing is, right, I've been isolating myself. I go to work, I handle my business, I show up to the occasions and functions I have to, but that's about it. But I realized like I like female company. I like female counsel. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like a lot of times like I can kick it with my bros and get jewels from them. But then I feel like women are the ones who always keep it most genuine.
because a female touch your heart with the love. You get what I'm saying? People we
Yeah.
gotta understand that when a female talk and when they come to you, they give you that warmthness. It's like that warmth that we want and we do need.
Right.
But
You need, yeah.
we gotta learn how to divide that line within what she's saying out her mouth and what's the actions.
Cause what I realized, bro, at the end of the day, no matter what I stop tricking myself, no matter what a female says to me, whatever a woman says to me, whatever she does, whatever she presents to me, I always know what I deserve. That's how I measure. That's how I measure the truth in her.
The
And
money.
because I know, all right, this is what I deserve from her. So if she's not meeting it, then it's that. If she's over exceeding it, then is that. But I know that this is where I what I
You know
deserve
what I
from her.
do? I test it out. So most people when they try to get to you and they want to feed you some bullshit, they give you a little bit about their life story or a point that we can relate and we can touch on the same thing. And that's when we feel open to tell them everything we got to say. And that's when they get you. So now they figure you out. Now they know
Mhm.
what to do and how to touch little emotions to get a reaction. As long as they got their reaction, they got control over you. But
Uh-huh.
we gotta look out for those type of people. Because once we see them type of people, we supposed to end it.
I,
But we let our
I'm
pride get in
completely.
the way.
I'm a fighter now. I done grew this skin, Ibrahim, bro. That I'm open. I, I'm an open book. I'm a student of life. I pray earnestly. I'm filled with the Holy Spirit, and I'm not scared of them. effing soul. So what I be doing now is I take all this now as a learning, like I can my discernment on a being. So whenever I encounter a wicked spirit or a lost soul, a conniving person, whatever, I take the time to like study them because that's the people I think that really need to be delivered to Jesus. So I'll involve myself in the conversation that nobody wants to have, or I'll take the scrutiny that nobody wants to go through to understand. Because out of the end of it, I'll be coming out of the game with so much insight that it's like, dang, I could rule the world if I wanted to.
And you're right on the money. Look, I had a person that was that type of person that I felt like I had to do that too. Or I know that you've been through some shit, or you got that evil spirit, or you practicing this shit. And I'm thinking that I can show you that God can walk within your life as long as you believe, or you can stop doing those wicked things, or you can stop doing this. And it's some people you can help, and it's some people you can't. But
Mm-hmm.
the ones that actually that try to get you, because look, the devil is slick, smart, and he
Mm-hmm.
got tricks. He
Mm-hmm.
would still send you somebody that you think you helping them out, but for real they playing you because you
Mm.
wasting your time trying to help this motherfucker out, and these
I dig
motherfuckers
that.
still gonna believe in the same shit that they already believe in,
I
and you
joke.
just wasting your time from helping somebody else out that actually need it.
Yeah, because the
Trust me,
Bible literally says like
that's
if a
what I just
person,
do.
the Bible literally says if a person is wicked and they don't turn away from they sins and they don't repent, that He'll turn them over into a reprobate mind and like just wash his hands with them.
Well, right on the money.
Yep. So that was right on the money, man. Then I and identifying that hurt, bro, because you know how sometimes you don't want to cross somebody off as wicked,
Yeah,
especially when it
but
be people
it
you
is what
love
it
or trust.
is. It is what it is, man. We gotta understand that the world where we live in, we know these things, but we be scared to talk about it, or because it runs in our family, that
Yep.
our family would be mad at us for talking about what they do and stuff like that.
Yep.
No, if you the golden child,
Yep.
God gave you that anointing on your life that you can speak up and you
Yep.
can break those generational curses.
Yep.
You can speak up. You can
Yep.
you can be like your family and just say, "Hey, let it slide," and we can
Yep.
just go with the flow. But when you speak up, a lot of people is going to go against you. It's
Because when
kind
you
of like
speak up, because you
you
know
put one
why,
of
bro?
those,
You know
huh?
why? When you speak up, you become what they call the term is called a whistleblower. And what
Yeah.
happens is
Oh,
what I'm starting to fine tune on too, which is also an ugly feeling to have, especially when you trust a lot of people, which makes you look at the world differently. When you become a quote unquote whistleblower, you know the people that rise up against you, they are the people that's like directly connected to the crimes. They be the ones that condone it and are into it, but nobody knows because they're like pristine and prestige. So they can literally be the only ones to say something without being looked at as, like, hey, I'm not a part of it. But they'll use other tactics like group up in groups and all say, hey, yeah, you're da-da-da-da.
gaslighting.
Yeah, gaslighting it. So you'll have five people that say, and then out of the five people that all say the same thing, one person will go hit you with that famous line. If everybody says the same thing about you, then it must be you. And you like, no, everybody that chose the comment are the part of it, the y'all people that's mad at the whistleblowers, the people that, and here's the thing, the people that don't chime in really either one be scared because either they are victims themselves and they don't really know what to do, right? Or two, like is you just got the people that's walking on NPC mode that it just hasn't happened to them, so then didn't click. They're not. That's it's not affecting them, so they don't feel it. It does.
I call
They
that the chaos theory. The chaos theory is a chain of events that seem like it got nothing to do with each other, but at the end, you realize that all those events, all those things you thought that had nothing to do with each other, was all together to come up with a bigger plan.
yeah
That's called the chaos theory.
yeah
And once you open up your eyes to deception and illusion, see, people hate when you see through they bullshit. Then they hate you.
they
They
hate you
hate you.
for it.
And they will always find people that envy you and don't like you to join them to come against you. Or they
Mhm.
don't want you to walk down your path. Trust me, I'm speaking, this is straight facts. I'm speaking about my life too. Like I'm
I
this is
already know.
straight facts.
You remember?
They
I
would
know your
send
story too.
people in your life that's known or know a lot of people, and everybody like them because they know or they popular. So they would send them people, and them people would gather other people, and the people that they gather don't even know why they going against you.
Don't
They
even.
just
They
know
have
that you're
no
the person
clue.
who told them to go against you, and you never even went to the person directly and to seek and find out was it true or who that person is. But when you go against that, see, they don't tell you that.
Half the time is actually just unspoken.
Yes,
It gets bred in jokes and behind the scenes chit chat and talk. Oh, her man, oh, man, that boy, he's such man, right?
but
It's
the
just a jaded type of, oh yeah, what the, oh wait, let's wait till he leave. You know, it just, they just breed the culture, so nobody even knows why you're being shunned or what's happening. And there's not even no question to really ask.
and they don't know that people gotta understand that if this person is dissing all this, why didn't you do it yourself? Why do they need so many people to go against you to try to get you? And why when they never tell you that when they did it they failed because that person walking with God. So they would, and they wouldn't even tell you. They know you gonna fail, but they know you can. They can put you in your way and your light just to delay you. That's why they do it. They know they won't stop you, but they can delay. They can parlay until you get into where you need to be or where you
Right.
need to go.
Because
That's why they do it.
bro, you want to know what I realized too? Like what you said, that's so crazy that you said that, is because God really be like giving his people gifts that you don't even realize that you be having. You ever notice how talented you are and you don't even notice? Like other people notice and you don't. They be like, dang,
Really?
I didn't even realize, dang, my hair did get long, or I didn't even realize, dang, I am an attractive person, or I didn't even realize, like, I do have the grace of God on me. I don't even realize it, but other people do. And so you like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and then
Your
with
aura.
your aura, and then what I'll be realizing now as being a person I am, I'll start to watch and notice like, oh snaps, the stuff that I'm doing naturally and not even realizing that I'm doing, I'm watching other people try to figure out and emulate it and have questions and be curious, and not in
They
a
try
bad,
to copy you. They
it
can't copy you
exactly,
because
and it
it's
don't
only
even,
one of you.
and I don't take it
One
in
of
a
you.
bad way or in a halty way, like, oh yeah, you want to copy off of me. I just be noticing, I take a note, like, oh snaps, this is coming from God, because it's easy to me because I don't even know how I did it, or I didn't even notice. Like the question you asked
It's
me,
natural.
yeah, it's natural. But, and I'm like, oh, snap. So that's what can have people like, operating in that
But
spirit.
and you know when I because I know that's the reason why they operate in that spirit. But what I try to tell to them is the fact that so what if I'm walking in my path and that's what's for me? You got something unique and special inside of you. You just gotta understand
Facts.
and believe it and bring it
Facts.
out. It's not meant for you to do what I'm doing because that's my talent. That's what comes natural with me. You got
Facts.
plenty of gifts that I cannot do. So
Facts.
that means that's your gift that you can bring out to the world and you can be an inspiration and you can help others. Think about it. We are born human beings. It's
Yep.
kind of like a cell. A cell
Yep.
is made to reproduce. That means pass down one information to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yep.
Is no price on it. If it's a price on it, that means
I was just about to, bro.
you
That was what
holding
I
back
was.
you
I was.
holding back information that can save somebody or free somebody.
That's
So why
crazy,
would you put a price on that and God give you this shit for free? Come on.
bro. That is
Come
that
on,
is
man.
that what you just
Come
said
on.
is so powerful, because that's what I was going to say, bro. It comes. What happens next is that when people start chasing what you have, it becomes, Satan does this thing where he like adds money into the middle of it. So like I'll be having a talent that I didn't know I have, and it'll make a little bit of money, right? And then somebody else will come along and be like, "Hey, I like that idea," and maybe they might be able to do it too. And so they'll take it, but instead of using it the way that I'm doing it, or you know, kind of like having a gift from God, they'll be like, "Yo, we can make $1 million doing that. So let's blah blah blah," and then it becomes about this, and
Look,
then
I had people that I know that do broadcasts and stuff like that to this day, and they known all over Philly. And I'm the one who taught them how to do something, like how to do something with their cards, or to teach them how to call on actually God and they good ancestors, because you can have two different type of ancestors. I taught them how to do that because they saw that within myself. And
Mm-hmm.
remind you, I never wanted credit because I don't need credit. I got credit from God. That's all I
Right.
need.
He always
But
does it right.
but I'm giving it to you to help somebody or to teach. But when I see you letting your ego get involved and you doing that, oh, you gonna come up. Remember, the devil give you what you want in the beginning, but at the end you lose it all.
Mm-hmm.
God give you, he give it to you the perfect timing, divine timing.
Right.
Cause that's
Right.
when you build it. When he give it to you, and when you get it, you know directly what to do with it, and you won't fail or it won't destroy you.
I
So
used to,
come on, man.
bro, you right on the money. I used to pray to be a rapper and be a famous musician and to have my own microphone and be able to live stream. This is stuff that I used to ponder in my head 10, 20 years ago on how to do and things I used to ask God for, right?
No,
And
real shit.
and I always wanted it for like my own personal reasons. Like, boom, I want to be able to just be a rapper and have fun and make money and da da da. Now, God done gave me all this stuff that I done pretty much everything I ever asked him for. He gave it to me.
Even
But
with you
but
giving
now
me this opportunity to get on the broadcast and do this, me, I've been, don't get me wrong, I got a lot of knowledge that I love to speak with the world.
I already know
And I used to be like, all right, let me just do it. God always told me everything you need, you already got within inside yourself. All you gotta do
it
is
be added to you.
just and he would send people in your way to help you.
This is what he. That's what I was saying. He gave it to me, the stuff I prayed for, but it's not for the reason I wanted it for. I wanted it just to be a rapper. But look what he used it for. God gave me the stuff I wanted, but now look what we're doing with it. We're on here, proclaiming about God and shining light to situations and discussing topics. We're a part of we have a voice, pretty much.
Real shit.
And now we have a responsibility. We got children to touch. We got family members and people to outreach. We got ministries to create and build.
And we letting them know that you can make it, you can be free. And don't be scared to be your true self and open up.
Uh,
So and most people gotta understand too, because I gotta give credit to the people that said, but I don't know. It's
uh,
it's a difference.
uh,
When you see somebody doing witchcraft on you and you don't know what witchcraft is, how the
mhm.
fuck you supposed to free yourself if you don't know that they doing it to you?
You don't even know, right?
So that means you gotta go do it, or you need to go talk to somebody that actually been through it
I seen
and
a
how they
I
can help.
seen a preacher do that in the middle of a service with a bunch of people in there. He was like, "I pray death against a person who would do this and da da da." He was just start like preaching
Yeah,
death against
that's
people
not
and
no person of God.
yeah, I
Person
was
of God
sitting there
live for
like
you.
I was appalled. I was like, I can't believe I'm sitting inside this church. It's about to catch on fire. I was hot.
No, real shit.
Like, yo, these dudes.
No, that's real shit. Because people gotta understand that that's not. Look, and it's that feeling. See how you, when you said you was in the church, you just knew that it wasn't right. It's
I
that
said,
feeling that
God can't
intuition.
like this.
That's not God. That mean that's somebody else that got control over that person and he's speaking that BS. And people be like, well, what we talking about is BS and all this. Think about what you see on TV. Think
Right,
about what's happening there in this world that they
right.
say Illuminati and all this extra stuff. Or I got stuff on my page where they would goat sacrifices with the young dog all
Yeah,
the
I was
time.
just seeing that too. Yeah, we was just talking
So
about that.
understand that they doing it in front of your face and showing you that they
I
doing it.
seen a
And
goat hoof.
y'all not believing me that a person that been through it that's trying to tell you how to get up out of it. Come
No,
on,
it's real, bro. I remember it
come
was
on,
this
man.
abandoned. It was this. You remember, bro? You remember across the street from Mark Craig?
Yeah.
You remember it used to be a house right there where that tree and that little lot right now. You remember it used to be an abandoned crib. They broke it down. You remember that?
No, I think I remember that, Joe.
Years ago, it was like a little abandoned outhouse that used to be in that yard. This was years ago when we was kids, and it was abandoned, and it was some squatters who used to live in it. I think that's why they broke it down. There was some people who didn't pay rent to live in there, and they used to be in there doing satanic cult stuff like goat sacrifice. I remember one time we walked past there, and it was like an animal hoof, and it had fur on it and all that. You could tell it was like an animal hoof, but inside of it was like dust. So it was like you could tell it was like tinker when it was used for something. It wasn't like a food type of a thing. And I remember just walking past there like, yo, these people got some crazy stuff
If I
going
give
on
you
with them.
my stories, man, and my stories about people that's close to me, people wouldn't even believe. But even with Mark. Man, R.I.P. Mark. Mark was woke, but people wasn't listening to him. I wasn't listening to him.
I
But
used to listen to
he
him.
kept on telling me, and he was like, yo, because Mark already gave me the deal with you. He said, you on to something. You on to something. Mark been telling me that. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, all right, but I wasn't really in that mindset open to receive. But Mark used to tell me all the time that yo, a person we know, some I ain't gonna put his name out there, sold his soul. And he kept on, and the way how Mark talked, he when he telling the truth, he look at you and
Right,
I'm
right.
telling you.
And he do
And
that little curl. He do that little
yes,
curl with his lips,
yes.
and
That
he
means
like
when he
letting you
doing
know,
that,
like he
he let
yeah.
you know that I'm telling you, but I can't tell you every single thing because I don't know the consequence about
Yeah.
what happened
And
to
I
me.
remember Mark was like that. He was like the type of person where he ain't want to really put your business out there like that. Like you could trust Mark with a secret.
Yes.
And see, bro, just while we touching on that, my thing about secrets is some secrets that should be kept. But then, like, bro, how many times we watch movies where people was keeping a secret or just didn't want to say it and wind up getting somebody killed?
Yeah, real shit. Or what about if it's a secret that you know that's think about it. The world we live in is so I say chaotic, but so hypocrites. Because when somebody shoots somebody on the block and they not related to you or you don't know the person, you let it go. You like, I
Right.
don't give a fuck. But when it becomes in your family or one of your people, you
Yeah.
cry out to the media, to the world,
Yeah.
and you ask people to help me find this person who did this to my child or to
Yeah.
my baby. So that
Yeah.
means that's when you seeking that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I if you do the crime and you was with the group that did a crime and you snitch on them, then nigga, you a snitch because you did the same shit and you should man up for the shit that you did.
That's what a snitch
You
is.
get what I'm
People,
saying? That's what a
but
snitch is.
the perverts love to twist the word snitch into
Yes.
this perverted version of, and they use it on
And they
victims.
use that
They use they use it on victims. Victims be like, "Oh, I'm not a snitch," because they don't even they're not even street to know what a snitch is. A
or
snitch is if we all selling drugs together and I told when I got caught, that's a snitch.
yeah,
If
nigga. And then I would
if
feel messed up inside myself to know that I nigga I'm with y'all. Number one,
yeah,
I'm all about loyalty. I'm
But
all
if you come across a situation that's inhumane and you do something about it, that's not a snitch. That's you
now,
taking a
now
moral action as a man.
I ain't saying go around the blocks and be like, hey, this nigga doing this, that nigga doing that. No, we not saying that.
We not
All
saying
we
be a crime
saying
fighter. I'm
is
talking. I said inhumane. So
yes,
selling drugs is something that's going to happen between two willing adults. That's between them,
yes.
a drug and a drug user. But inhumane things is like a person that's abusing the elderly, or abusing children, or abusing vulnerable people.
And they the main ones that we must realize that they everywhere and they in our family. They
Bro,
in our schools.
heavy.
They in our churches. These motherfuckers, not just the guys that touch boys, but also the guys that touch females. And
Right.
we must not be under misunderstood about the damn female that like the little boys too and the little girls. We
And
must be open. See,
bro,
we
is
get all
and
this
it's
credit.
all of them. And here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. Why we on that? You know how you see the movies where the little boys that meet a drug dealer while they're young and they become a drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens to
Yeah,
these kids. It's like
traumatized.
so
They get that dope.
that's why they're not even traumatized. They learn that. That's who they is. They learn that behavior. So sometimes why I'm so much of an advocate about being a man that's going to stand up and do something and not go to court because the white people don't care. Like actually trying to shed awareness and put our cause out there and understand what it means to be a father and learn about being a father is because of that. I feel like it takes us real men to change things and start setting precedents in our families on what being a father really is and what being a real man really is to our women and teaching
There you go.
on the
And to
internet.
be honest, a female look. See, look, what us we and this is look people y'all can like it or not. A guy holds the direction, and he's a powerful man if he believe in God because he got a direction that's
Right.
benefited not just for himself but for you and everybody else that come in his way. That's a
right.
powerful person.
And I
You're a
look at
person
right.
with
We
no
cannot, as
direction.
a guy, as a man of God, we cannot have $1, and God will provide and cover for us and our family.
Look, I had people, man. I had people. I can call them right now just to prove it. I had people that I've been with, and we was like low on like bills and stuff like that. And the person like, damn, how we gonna do this? And they was like, you believing in God? I was like, watch, he gonna make a way. We sat there and we I slept next to her, and I had this dream. It was like a vision, and it was like 20 minutes vision. Then I woke up, and then I was like, watch, you gonna get this call today. Everything will be good. Man, we got the call and they said they made a mistake and the bills was paid. And you know what she said to me? She said, I already knew it was going to happen, but she was crying the whole time. But she said to me, she said, I knew it was going to happen. She said, no, I believe you. I never doubted you. And I had to
Hmm.
tell her, don't believe in me. Don't doubt me.
Believe in
I only
God.
got the message from God, and I was trying to tell you that long as you believe. See,
Right.
see, see, they even it's kind of like when you see a person we know and they lose everything. When you lose everything, God gotta let you lose everything for He can give you everything you need.
Yep.
Because what you got in your life is kind of like, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's facts. The most broken person, when they believe and they want their change, when they heal, they become so powerful. They become so wise,
Damn,
and people be so. Come on, man. But
bro, that's heavy.
you must never forget. That's the thing about it. Once we get up, some of us forget we don't want to give back. God only gave us this to share with one another, not to
Yeah,
put a price on
yeah.
our people that they know damn well is not can't come up with that money because they struggling. So for you to give that information to them, you want them to do all this shit just to give you the for pay them for they can give you the information instead of giving them that opportunity.
I
You get what I'm
love,
saying? Come
I
on.
do, bro. I love the opportunity to be able to be used by God. Like when I can do something that I can tell, like, dang, God put me in a position to be able to do that. I love that. It's worth better than money.
And look, man.
Even when it's on myself. You know what's crazy? Sometimes there have been positions where I could do something for myself that I couldn't necessarily afford, but I could do. And I done it. Like, all right, you know what?
Hmm.
I'm gonna enjoy myself and I'm gonna do to make this decision because it's gonna I'm gonna enjoy it and I'll let God figure out what happens next. And I've been blessed just for even doing that sometimes.
No, and it'd be crazy. It's that feeling. See, with me, I get love and joy and of helping others. See, in
Mm-hmm.
my life, I couldn't really doubt on my friends because they was like pushing me in the wrong direction. But I
Mm-hmm.
always had complete strangers
Me too.
come up to me, and they seemed like they knew my life. It was kind of crazy. It could have been God in different bodies, or it could have been the spirit. But they always came to me and said, "This is not who you are. You are more than this." I mean, I even had niggas that niggas that actually run shit like real shit that said, "No, bro, you better than this." They never
Dang,
even say this to their own kids, but they said it to me. Man, I
dang.
got so much respect for that because they saw something in me where I was confused in my own self,
I,
and they still gave it to me. That's why I would be an asshole and a dickhead for not sitting up here and taking heed to all these people, strangers that came into my life and talked to me and guide me on my way.
bro,
Don't get
you
me wrong. Even what best thing about me, even when it seemed like I don't listen, I always listen because I know one point in my life I'm gonna come across a situation, and that's gonna help me get out of it.
yep.
That's why even if people say, "Well, he's not speaking," see me, I'm always open to hear everybody's point of views
Mm-hmm.
because everybody point of views that matter. We all come together as one.
And it teach you something. It gives you like a common sense, like one band, one sound. When you hear what everybody say, you start to hear what's common.
There you go, and it helps you holler holler on basically how to succeed or escalate until a situation or a problem come along. When see a problem can become along, you think a problem is a problem to stop you or to make you give up. No, that problem
Right.
is sometimes a test or is to build your character into
Mm-hmm.
who you are or how you would go in that situation. And as
Mm-hmm.
you doing that, don't never think people not watching. They watching you struggle, but they seeing you with that smile going through it, and you actually helping them and influence them to keep it going and giving them muscle.
Hey, bro,
Come
crazy thing that you would say that. You know how I post a lot of stuff on Facebook, or I say a lot of things here. When I
on.
go out into the world, all the righteous people and the real people, they receive me well. Like, oh man, this, and that. Or I think this what you should do. Like you said, when you said the strangers, or
Mm-hmm.
that's what happened. I get people who come and talk to me positively. I get positive reinforcement in the world. It's just, I guess, on the internet, people don't be like,
Don't no. Look, they see it. They just don't. They scared to like it because they thinking they friends. Think about it. When we post something about like a music video, we get all the likes. But when we post something about something real about God, we get a few likes. Come on, come
mm-hmm,
on. I'm telling you the truth, man. Look, when you call, a lot of people will hate you. Even the world sometimes hate you. But the ones that actually seek God will always find you. Trust me.
they gonna
And
find you
you
where
will
you at
always
too.
shine. And you shining regardless. You shining in the light in the darkness. You're still
Mm-hmm.
shining. Because we gotta understand that some people when they call, they can be jealous of the next person who called too, because they on a different level. And
Mm-hmm.
this where you let your ego come along in. Me, I
Mm-hmm.
respect somebody that know more than me, because hey, you can teach me or you can
Right.
help me out.
I don't have all the
I
weight on
would
my
never sit
shoulders.
and I would never sit right here and understand and be like, hey, oh, I know everything, and he think he know everything, so now I'm mad at him. Now I don't fuck with him. Hell no, nigga, you helping
That
me,
I
and
would
we can build together.
A real genius already know, like, bro, I'm not a genius at all. I don't even know how I be doing this stuff. If God say, hey, you can't do this no more tomorrow, I would be lost.
No, bro, shit.
So so
Everything I got comes straight from the above.
come
There's
straight
no,
from God.
there's no people that told me. There's no books that I was reading. It comes from straight up above, because all the experience and all my trials and tribulations that I've been through already. And I know I'm going to do more. Each level I go up, I know it be new devils. But
And
I chose and I'm willing to walk down that path.
you
And I
always
won't
been
give
there
up.
for your kids too, man.
Yeah, of course.
From what I
That's what it's.
always know about you, I always watched you enjoying being a father. Each time I seen you, sharing your kids to the world, that was one thing
No,
about.
I appreciate that, man. Look, man, I sacrifice everything. People don't even understand this about me. The reason, they my kids, I love them, but I love them so much more, and I try to be like, even like with me, I respect a male still got to show that tough side, but I actually talk to him and open up to tell him why you feel this way. Only because I never really had that from my own dad to actually talk to me. So I want to give more, not more, but I wanted to do something that I think is right, something that I never had, and that was to open up how you feeling at the time. You get what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Just
Yeah,
talk to them. Just talk to them, and they will open up to you and tell you everything. Because when you don't talk to them, and they go start talking to that next person because they afraid that you will judge them, and that's when they let that person can be a stranger,
yeah,
or he can be a danger,
yeah.
stranger danger, and
Stranger
he will
danger.
gain that access to your child. So you must open up to your child so they won't turn to the next person. They can turn to you.
That's what I'm trying to do now, bro. I want to be a father to my children so
And
bad,
bro,
bro.
you're gonna get it. Look, you're gonna get it. It's no ifs and buts about it. Trust me, I know you're gonna get it. And don't look at it. Don't let this, like, say, because look, to have faith, that means that because we don't see it, don't make it impossible. Impossible.
Fact.
To have faith means that we don't have to see it, but we know we got that feeling, that willpower, that we know everything is gonna work out. And don't look at it like you're missing out on some things right now, because trust me, I'm going through the same type of things too. You ain't the only
Mm-hmm.
one. And sometimes it hurts you. It feels like, damn, I wish I was there. I'm missing out on this certain little things. But no, because when you do go into that person's life, you're gonna give them every single thing, and that's when they're gonna know exactly who you are. You're gonna be proud of yourself, because no matter what, a child will always seek you. They will always seek the real parents, regardless. I don't give a fuck who's there. A child have the right, and it's within their mind, body, and soul, to seek their real parents, to get to know who their real parents are. And that
They've
means
been saying that about my first daughter since she was born, and she's like 8 years old now, and it's just like I be
trust me, bro, it's going to happen. Because when you meet her and she see the person who you are, she know she want to meet you, but that's when she's just gonna love you even more because she see who you are. Trust me, that's what it's all about. We looking at stuff that we let go in the past or when we not there. So we looked at damn a child with judgment. We don't know what to do when we actually be there. No, no, don't think like that. Think more of a when we
like
get there, we're gonna show them the world, and it's gonna be the greatest for the world. Trust me.
right, bro.
A lot of people in the way the world is, most people they feed you that no, it's not gonna be that. It wasn't that for me, so it's not gonna be that. No, to actually walk in faith. Look, I survived a lot of stuff that people wouldn't even believe.
I
I'm
guess
telling
that's why. I guess you know what's crazy. You just gave me something that you ain't even know you gave me. But I feel like that might be one of the things God is trying to work on my heart. Right, forgiveness. I've always prayed for to be reunited with my first daughter, and I never actually forgave her mother for, the way we split up. I never had closure with her, never forgave her. And now in my new situation, I'm going through the same thing again, where I'm back around to forgiveness and understanding, which I never even learned to have back then for her. So
you.
I guess I would have to be able to forgive and understand that situation and I think I ever have. I don't forget her
Because at
mom.
the same time, if we waiting for the mother to tell us, I'm sorry, look at my baby mom did the same exact thing, and I've been there. I've been there. I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but
Yeah, I
I've been
know.
there every sense of the way before my child was born, and with her and her child, and I still been there 100%. And what you did to me was just all like it was awful. But little do she know, before I came with her, I took 2 years out of my life and I healed. But I mean, no relationship, nobody, no nothing. And I knew no matter what, I'm going to make it. And I look, I reflect on the pain that I caused for other people too, without knowing, knowingly and
Right.
not knowingly. So that means I healed from it and I changed my whole entire way,
Right.
my life. So that means that most people come in and they expect to break you because they already broke. But once
Wow.
you once you give that forgiveness within yourself, you can say, "Hey, I forgive you, and I know you forgive me." So what if they don't actually say it? But that's how you move on from it. Because if we expecting a reason why, we would never fucking get a reason why because they don't even know why. So that you want them to feed you some bullshit of
Right.
why this and all this because it
Right.
will always
Because
keep on
as
going.
you know what's crazy? I tried to force the why out of a rock before, and what you just said right on the money. They don't even know, and if you force them, they'll just give you some bullshit that they can fathom. Like
Yep.
you know what? I
Yep.
don't know, but if I must say, you like, dang, wow, and then that's where you realize you're dealing with is a spirit you're dealing with. It's
Yep.
not. It's not the. We don't wrestle with the
They
how they
still,
said.
how we expect to get a reason why out of somebody that's still fighting demons within themselves? But
Mm-hmm.
we all fighting demons, but
We all
we
are.
got that intellect that we're not going to let those demons overpower our
Bro,
judge
that's what I
or
feel
apply.
like God sent us for though. That's what our energy is for. Our energy is
You
supposed to be
right on
the
the money.
the
That's
dominant energy to be like, all right, listen, snap out of it. Like
but
you
I'm gonna
remember how
tell
you
you one
remember you
thing
said
too.
remember you said how with your sons, right? You
Hmm.
can't always be the nice guy with your sons. Sometimes you gotta talk to them and let them understand why you had to be hard on them, but you had to be hard on them at a point. And I feel like that's what a husband might, if I take on a role of a father figure, sorta, in your wife's life, it might be a point where you have to be a little bit rough with your wife, right?
Hmm.
Like whereas like listen, we have to do this, and then same. But if your wife is reluctant, then you have to like kind of urge her. You urging her like this is the direction God wants us to go. Let's go.
No, and that's straight facts. And she will respect. See, I've realized with a female, and this is sometimes that we gotta understand too. They want us to do that because they don't know. They would never admit that they don't know how to do that themselves. So they want us to do that, but when we do that, they still must fight us
Yep.
because in they eyes, the more we fight, that means the more we care. But
No,
if
no.
we
We said it earlier. I watched this in my mother. So as I'm older now, I'm starting to notice this. I'll go and do something like, for instance, like I can skate really well now, right? But I fall all the time. But I know how to fall, so I know necessarily how not to hurt myself when I fall as much as possible. But
I
I
skate.
I could actually still get hurt, but I'm not scared to. But when my mom watches me skate, if I slip, she go, ooh, like she'll jump out her skin. Like, like she'll be bracing herself for the fall as if it was her, and it's not even her that's going to hit the ground, it would be me. But I think that's how women are. They internalize their fear like on you. So like if like you're doing something that's scary, they'll be like, yo, that's scary for me too. Like you're to
It's
watch you.
called, I call it projection.
Yeah,
They project
projection.
that on us without us even knowing it.
Yeah,
And but to be honest, look, nobody can ever get to us or in your, this go for anybody. Nobody can get to your energy not unless you allow them. And when you protect it, this is the number one trick they would do. When you're a person of God, they can't target your thoughts because they know you're gonna overpower.
right.
So they would target one thing that they thought. This is their last attempt. That would be your heart. Once they target your heart, and they would get you to care or reaction, because when you react, that means you're showing some type of emotion.
Reactive
So you
abuse.
need that doorway for them to come right inside, and they plant they little seed. And once they plant that seed, it grows. And it's up to us to understand. And it's only for like a person that wasn't healed, because a person that's healed don't have to do that. Number one, we it's like Bonnie and Clyde. Look, no matter what you go through, look, we in this together.
We in this together. Like that's how I be trying to prove that to the woman I love. Like, you know what I mean? But it just seems like you said sometimes you just can't prove it to everybody.
And it's not just that. I'm happy you said this, because this is the number one topic, and this even with my life. When you a good person and you try to show that to somebody, and they not getting it, stop. The reason why I say stop, because they not ready for it.
Yeah, that's when
It's not that they not agreeing with you, because they do agree on. They know you're the
they
good,
just not ready. And
but
the
they not.
crazy part is, bro, my time ticking. And the crazy part, remember you said earlier how God is or Satan to try to send you people.
Hmm.
Like it been a bunch of people coming into my life where I'm like, dang, is this God sending me a blessing and a sign telling me to actually move on, and or is this Satan trying to block me from my blessings and cause me to give up?
Look, it's both. It's God sending you the right one to move on, but also Satan is sending you other people too to distract you from that new person that's coming into your life. Because I'm going through the same exact thing. So trust me, I know. I know.
Dang,
And I recently had somebody that came to my life. They actually offered me a position to actually talk with a little church. Not even church, it was like a group. Red flag with that. But they wanted me to talk and speak my knowledge with them, and how she was saying I can be this. But I said, okay, let me pray and let me ask God and make sure this person is the one. And
mm-hmm.
once I did this, I start seeing everything. God came to
Yeah,
me. He came to me in people, songs,
yeah,
even movies.
yeah,
And it was crazy. He gave me movies and songs
yeah,
of the same place where this person was living in. And I
yeah.
was like, I would be a fool to don't
I
pay
would be
attention.
a fool to people.
Come,
Yo, bro.
come on.
Listen, I've been literally doing stuff like hey, I'm gonna read the scripture. This is what God gave in my heart, boom, boom, boom. And I say something in the scripture, and then the girl would just like reveal herself. Like you'll be like, thanks. Like God not even letting nothing slide. Like the girl herself would say,
Mm-mm.
hey, you know what? You know what?
Mm-mm.
You know what? I think yeah, I'm not like they'll just be honest. Like, I'm okay, I got some work to do. Like I've had a girl actually hit me with that. Like,
And once you tell them that you know, or you tell them that something like this, that's when you see they hold the meter and everything. Because once they know they can't get you, they just playing themselves.
yeah.
That's when they say, hey, they just take that mask off, and then they
But
just ready.
what about the ones that really ready to play the hardball? Like I'd be like, dang, because some of them, right?
I like them ones though.
Yeah, they the ones that stay down with it. They want to read the Bible with you and
I like them
come
ones.
and so then me too, but it's like I got literally two different ones that's so similar. And like I haven't slept with none of these girls. So it's just, I'm just like looking like, dang, out of one of these girls I have to pick, even if it will be my wife, I gotta pick somebody to be with for the rest of my life. Right.
And look, when what you do, you pray and you ask God to help you decide and help you to pick wisely.
God
Because
leaving me,
sometimes,
God leaving me hanging on this joint right now, so I'm just not making no move at all.
what do we say? Go with your intuition, and your intuition is that you still feel that both of them got something that's not right down the line, or something that's there, and that's your answer. That's your truth. Trust me. Look, man, I can even help you pull. I can pull my cards and tell you each one about both of them.
You know what Casey said?
Yeah,
You know Casey, right?
yeah. I know Casey.
Casey said to me, she was like, you know what, B? Because that's my homegirl. I've been knowing Casey since we was young too.
Yeah.
She was like, man, you like damsels in distress. I said we all in distress.
She
Who not?
wise though. She wise though. Casey wise.
Yeah, K got a lot of knowledge with it. Bro, who ain't in distress? Hey, look, man, I know this live probably like 8 hours long. Niggas trying to get some rest right now. Hey, bro, listen, you really got a lot of knowledge that we need to continue to spread and continue to build a ministry. I feel like we should continue to build a ministry together and keep praying, keep God first, and just continue to be the men like God rise us as the men that we're supposed to be.
Always, bro. I appreciate this too, man.
Yeah, appreciate you too, man. I appreciate the same. We gotta do more. Let's continue on our missions, man. I read your posts. I know your cause. I know your story. I know what you're fighting for. Vice versa. Let's do it together, man. Be stronger together.
You already know, bro.
God bless you in the mighty name
God
of
bless
Jesus.
you too.
And everybody that watched the live, if y'all was watching, got anything out of it, we thank y'all. And just stay aware, stay prayed up. We not pastors and preachers, so we not about to pray and preach for y'all or nothing like that. Y'all can go pray and preach for yourself and talk to y'all respective religious leaders and everything. But we just here as the brethren, the men of the testimony. We got our own testimony.
We just the messengers. That's all.
Yep, we just the messengers. I like that. Good night, bro. Talk to you.
You already know, bro.
One.